Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 445. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for being here with me. I am nearly a week into a battle with pollen. My allergies have been really such a good time this week. Woo! But hopefully they will end soon. I thought it was over the other day when it rained like crazy and I stopped sneezing almost. I don't think I sneezed again after the rain, but then I think it was like a different variety of pollen came through, which has an entirely different set of symptoms. It's a good time. Spring is so beautiful and pleasant and also horrible. Good, but terrible. I'm very glad for it. I love it. It is one of my favorite seasons, except for this part. So I am back on my creativity jam for this blog today. I don't know what's going to happen next week because I got to tell you, the only thing that I have like in the back pocket, in the hole, what do you say? In store, it like is some stuff I decided I wasn't going to post. So next week is a mystery from here. But today's not a mystery. Today I have a blog for you and it is called Kill Your Firstborn. If you've spent time in writing circles or writing workshops or writing advice threads, at some point you will have run into the concept of killing your darlings. This is the idea that sometimes you have to cut the parts of your text that you love for the greater good of your piece. Some people take this idea so seriously that they cut their darlings unilaterally. Just, do I love it? It has to go. Personally, I think this is going too far. It's possible your darling is the heart of your piece. You've got to evaluate it as a whole to really know if that particular darling needs to be killed. I recently realized, though, that one of the darlings I often have to kill is the first one. Usually, when I start a piece, the first line or scene holds the image of the entire idea within it. I am very reluctant to adjust this opening line, scene, image, or idea because it gave birth to the piece as a whole. A first line might have come to me, and out of it, a whole show or book or piece sprang forth. I am always loath to cut something if I owe it such a debt. But I have recently realized that as my dearest darling, it is often what needs to be cut or replaced the most. 8 out of 10 of my opening bits are not what they started as. And now I'm wondering if I ought to have cut the ones that remained. I'm thinking I should at least try and cut this firstborn idea and see if the work is better for it. I see my own reluctance to do it, and also the work that has been improved by it. I'm thinking of the dragoning in particular. I thought of the first line of it as I walked home from the coffee shop one day. I had that first line repeating for several blocks, and then started writing the rest of it in my head. I got home and wrote down what I'd been saying to myself, and then some. It felt like one of those sudden surprise gifts from the muses. That first line was like a song I got stuck in my head for a month. From that initial inspiration, I wrote a whole show and did a reading of it to try and work out what kind of show it was. An audio drama podcast, it turned out. That reading showed me where some redundancies were and where the rhythm was off. It was clear after hearing it that the first monologue had to go. I didn't want to do it. It had become so dear to me. But I cut it, and now I can barely remember what it was. I started to think about this on a recent project when my collaborator pointed out that there were a lot of repetitions of the word now in the opening paragraph of our book. She was right, of course, but when I looked at that paragraph more closely, I realized it wasn't just the word now I needed to cut, but the entire opening. And a little part of my brain said, no, this is where I started. And then another part of my brain said, actually, this might be something we should always do because it's where we started. This might be a thing. I think there may be a kind of important creative moment here wherein we honor what started us off down the road before we let it go. Then we let it go because it was our first thought and it no longer serves the bigger picture. It may be like a seed in a little shell. Once the seed is planted and becomes a tree, its shell is no longer necessary, even if it was a key ingredient of the whole process in the first place. I imagine acorns lose their little caps as they grow. I think it's a fairly classic seed move to crack open its shell and burst forward into something new. But the shell was necessary to get it in the ground. I think that's what a lot of my opening scenes or paragraphs or moments are like. They are the seed that gets the plant growing, and ultimately, the shell needs to be discarded. It's a much nicer metaphor than killing your firstborn. But sometimes it's so hard to do. That's what it feels like. Whatever we want to call it, it's clear that it is often necessary. I will do it when I must, which is most of the time. I have noticed an interesting phenomenon on WordPress where I post the initial blog. And that is whenever I do something that is like this, like where it's like a direct look at creativity, like creative tips and whatever, that's when I get a lot of likes within the WordPress environment, which I think is because, they're all writers there also. Most other people with WordPress accounts are also writers, also artists, or aspiring to be such. So this kind of thing does well within that particular atmosphere. Here on the podcast, it's not the same. Definitely the more political podcasts are, have more listens. The creative ones have fewer. It's just like it's just like there's different climates in each of these locations in terms of what people respond to. Which is, I guess, why I continue to post in multiple locations, because different audiences have different interests and desires. So, what song am I going to give you? Well, there are two songs that I found about your firstborn. One is a kind of sentimental, it's very sweet, a sentimental song by a guy called Tennessee. I can't remember his last name, but then Andy Williams did a version of it called Firstborn. And it has like, firstborn, this baby with his mother's eyes is our firstborn. And that's all I'm going to do for you, as obviously it was not the right choice for me. But I'm glad to know about the existence of that song. It is kind of an interesting relic. And the other one, which is the one I will be performing for you, is called Firstborn, and it is by Kate McGarrigle of the Kate and Anna McGarrigle, the McGarrigle sisters. And it's a song I grew up on. My mom had this album, and she was a big fan. So this one's going to be for you, Mama. I did not remember this song as well as I feel I ought to have, given that I heard this album a lot as a child. It just sort of is like, oh, yeah. But there were parts of it where I was like, really? Does that then? What? So yeah, some memories, I don't know. it's funny. Music can be very memorable, and then sometimes like chunks of it I think stuck with me, and then other chunks I just let go entirely. I also discovered in exploring this song that Kate McGarrigle's kids did a version of this as well. There's a tribute album to Kate McGarrigle, and Rufus and Martha Wainwright do a version of this song, which is great. And there's something so sweet about it. It's like, I'm pretty sure Rufus Wainwright is Kate McGarrigle's firstborn. I don't know that this song is about him. I suspect it is not, but it's still just sort of charming to have her kids be singing a song about children. So check that out if you have access to that. And the album, I haven't heard the whole album yet, but it's the couple of songs that I've heard from it are pretty cool. So I'm going to play Firstborn for you in just a minute. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please tell someone about it. Like, review, subscribe. If you would like to support it, wow, that'd be amazing. Patreon.com/Emily R. Davis is the number one spot, but there's also Ko-fi, there's PayPal. You could join as a paid subscriber on Substack, although there's a whole movement about people trying to get off Substack, so I don't know. But if you're still on the Substack train, I'm still there for the time being. And if you have a platform that you prefer to support artists on, let me know what it is. I will join. Mostly, though, I am just grateful to have you listen right now, right here, in this very spot. So, when I was first working on this song, I was playing it on the ukulele, mostly because I have joined a ukulele protest army, and I was needing to sort of refamiliarize myself with ukulele chords, feeling. It's been a little while since I picked up my ukulele, so I thought, I'll just keep it going by practicing on this song. But then once I was through the ukulele rehearsal, I was like, I really think this song will sound better on guitar. So I switched. I don't think there's any remnants of that kind of ukulele sensation, but I did basically learn this song on ukulele, and then I switched over to guitar. That's just a little fun factoid about exploring this song. Okay, so let me play it for you. Here it is. It is called Firstborn. The silver spoons in the mouth, baby clothes are baby blue. Nothing's ever handed down, everything's brand new. Newspaper notices heralding that great event. Daddy's buddies send the flowers, mother's friends have baby showers, welcoming that heaven sent. That firstborn son is always the one, the first to be called and the last to come. He's his mother's favorite, his grandmother's too. He'll break their hearts and he'll break yours too, for he's the first to creep and the first to crawl, the first to walk and the first to fall. Every bruise is kissed, every cry is heard, every doubt's cast out with a soothing word. Yes, he's that firstborn son, he's that special one. No matter what comes next, no matter what comes along, be it another boy or a sweet baby girl, the family's the oyster and he is the pearl. Some of them make it, some of them don't, some of them can't, others won't grow up. every firstborn son of a Jew got axed, but the one who survived with the help of God's hand led his people to the promised land. Yes, he's the firstborn son, he's that son of a gun. He don't like to walk, he just likes to run. He loves to run just as fast as he can, with life held tight